Hey everyone, Marco here, and welcome to another pencil mark video. I've been working on my Clip Studio Paint setup here, and I'm ready to try out another solve. Also, I'm gonna try to start editing my videos a bit to cut out some of the dead air time, so hopefully it'll be nicer to watch. Right, so this is from the first round of the 2022 GP. It's called a bust sudoku, and we're specifically talking about blackjack here, so each number on the outside of the grid is basically telling how many cells in you gotta go until you hit bust in blackjack. That means you get over 21. And as a 21 fan myself, as a blackjack, it kind of spoke to me, you know? So for example, this 5 clue over here, we have a 4. If we have like, let's say 3, 5, 8. This is gonna sum up to 20. So that's still within the bounds of 21. But if we add, say, 6 over here, then it becomes 26, and that's bust. So that's what the 5 clue represents. Also, another cool thing about this Sudoku over here is that earlier in the contest, this same Sudoku appeared just without the numbers on the outside, and it completely worked as a non-consecutive Sudoku. So that's just something I think is really cool. So yeah, let's give it a shot here. I guess first things first, we should look at the high clues and the low clues. The 7 here especially catches my eye because we know that in Kakuro, 21 is minimal for a 6-cell region. In other words, the first 6 cells of this have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So let's get this as a mark. Yeah, why did I do this? But yeah, the 7, that means that the only two numbers that can go at the top here are 8 and 9. So we can just get that straight away with the 8 on the other side. 8 and 9. And let's cross out the 7 now that it's definitely going to be true no matter what. Now, this is actually giving me something interesting here for the 3 clue. 3 means that these 3 cells sum up to 22 or more. And there's a restriction on these because the 8 is, visible by both of them. So the 3 next highest numbers we can put in there are 6, 7, 9. Those sum up to 22 exactly, so we can't go below that. So this is a 6, 7, 9 triple. Now this 6 is going to make things difficult going down, right? Because I think we can only have 7, 8 here. 7, 8 already makes 15, and then the next 3 numbers still have to keep the number 21 or lower. That can only be 1, 2, 3, so we have 15 plus 6 being 21, and that's the only way to stay out of bust range. Alright, so we've got that down. What's next? The 4 clue is interesting. We have fairly low numbers here with the 5 and the 1, 2, 3, but the other 2 numbers here and here need to bring it over 22 or over. There's a 9 on the other side, so the biggest we can get is 5, 3, and then 7, 8, which would be 23. So, in other words, what that's giving us is 5, 7, 8, 3 is our maximum. I mean, our 5, 7, 8, 3 is our minimum. And we can go at most 1 down from there. But we definitely need the 8 in one of these 2 cells. It's possible for it to be a 6 instead of a 7, or a 2 instead of a 3. Or it can be both a 7 and a 3. It just can't be anything that goes too lower than our minimum, our maximum. Right, so what's next? We have the 3 clue basically satisfied over here, so we can cross that out since we have the pair. The 6 clue, I guess that's also satisfied with the pencil marks we got. The other things that appear in this column now are going to be 4, 5, and 9. So actually we do get a 5 from Sudoku. That's going to be at the bottom here. And that's going to be a 4-9 pair in these two spots. I was wondering if you could block out the 6 by maybe putting, say, a 1 over here, but no, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is still fair. But that actually made me spot a different thing, which is there's 2 3s here, meaning we need a 3 in the middle row on the right side, and there cannot be a 3 within these 6 cells here. So actually that pushes our minimum up a bit. Our current minimum is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 for the 5 cells on the left. That is 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 18. So we can go 3 up from that. I don't think we can, like, if we do write a 1 here, then it's going to push the minimum up to 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's way too much, I believe. Well, 4, 5, 6, 7 already is 22. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 is 26. That's way too much. So this can't be 1, and 2 would make the minimum. 2 would do the exact same thing. So we can't have that. If it's 4, then I think it's still fine because we have 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. That's exactly, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. That's exactly 21. So we can't do that. That's a lot of work just to get 2 candidates out of the way. I want to look at the 3, I guess. As we've established, 3 has got to be 22 or more within the first 3 cells. So that means we need a 9 within the first 3. So one of those is definitely a 9. It can be 5, 8, 9 is fine to make 22. 6, 7, 9 is also still fine, so we don't know which one of those it is. But there's definitely a 9 within the first 3 cells. I should look at the 6 at the top right. It's got a 9 in it, so that does mean we have a minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. That is already, yeah, it's very low. And we do need the 1 within these first 3 cells, within these missing 3 cells. It's got to be here, which means the 1 in the left is pushed down to the bottom row. That's not really giving us much, is it? Yeah. Oh, this one's tricky. This one's tricky. I see something we can get with just regular Sudoku since we've deduced these 2 cells to be a 6, 9 pair. This cell over here is locked to be 1 or 3. That means there's a bunch of numbers here which can only be in these 3 cells here. And one of those is 5. It can only be in this spot by Sudoku. The other one, which we definitely need to place somewhere, is the 4. That's got to be in one of these 2 cells. So it's restricted going down, I guess. Though we don't actually have any other 4s, really. We just have this one at the top. Not a lot we can do with that. Well, we do have a few 5s. I don't think we can use those to place anything, really. Though, there's also the fact that this 5 is on this 6 row. Our minimum was 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. If we trade the 4 in for a 6, then we have 21. But we also have the deduction like, now we need a 3 in those 3 cells, because if we don't, the minimum goes up to 1, 2, 4, 6, 9. That's 22. So we also definitely need a 3 within this group. And then the other number, it can be a 4, it can be a 6. Both of those are fine. Then we need a 7 somewhere in that row, and that 7 goes over here. So we got a 6 or a 4 as the remaining one. Let's just pencil those in anyway. Yeah, I've just sort of realized I messed up my pencil mark and my solution layers, so I'll just leave it be as one layer. Now that this is a 7, we can't have a 7 in this cell over here, so it can only be a 6 or an 8 for the 4. This 9 on the right side, like, it does restrict the 4 a bit, but we still have a lot of range here because 9 is just a very big number. Well, we do have 2 options for the 9 over here, I guess. The 9 has to be in one of these 2 cells because it's limited to the bottom row because of the 6-9 pair, and we've got the 9 on the right side at the bottom. We're not really too restrictive in the middle here, I suppose. We do have 3 candidates, but we cannot put 9 in this spot because while we can minimize this to 6, we still need, that means we need 1, 2, 3 within that pair, that triple, and that's blocked by this 3 over here. So a 9 in this spot is impossible at the very least. What can we do with a 4? We need, I guess our maximum here is 9. It's still 9, 8, 7. So we have a lot of options for busts. We just can't put 9 and 6. Well, no, our minimum is more like 9, 8, 4. Right? Because if we put a 9 down here, that means there's a 6 that ends up here. And if we put down another 8, that means we get a 7 over here. And there's a 5, so we're left with a 4. But that 4 can still be... that can still be a 3. Or no, it can't be a 3, it can't be a 2. Actually, this is good. What we can deduce is we cannot put a 1 within this group of 4 cells. Because, yeah, 1, 3, 8, 9, that's 21, so that's not bust. We cannot put 1 here, we cannot put 1 here, there's only one place where we can put 1. That is in this cell. That also gives us our 1 at the top over here. And it reduces this to a 2, 3 pair. All right, just cleaning up my pencil marks a bit. And what does that give us, this 1? I guess we do know that 1 has to be on the left side down here. I guess this means that we do need a 4 within this group of 4 cells. So we have 4, 3, which is 7, and we need at least 15 more. We cannot place a 6 because we cannot place both a 6 and a 9 due to the 6-9 pair at the top. So that means that the 6 cannot be within these, or rather, we already blocked the 6 in these two spots because of sudoku, but it can't be over here. So we need 2 out of 7, 8, 9 in those spots, which is already pushing it quite high. I wonder if we can say something about if it's a 7, 8, 9 in the second row to the bottom, there's a 6 on the left. Like, we can't have that go too high. Right, I guess we can definitely say, well, we do know that there can't be a 3 in those cells. If we have an 8, we're still fine if we have 1, 2, 4 in those 3 cells. I shouldn't ignore sudoku here at the top. But yeah, this is a 4-6 pair, I believe. I just didn't mark the second possibility for the 6. No, it's not. So yeah, at the top. So yeah, at the top we have a 6-9 pair. So yeah, at the top we do have a 6-9 pair. And the other two numbers, those have got to be a 4 and a 3. Right, that makes sense. The 3's on the left in this box, the 3's on the right in this box. That's completely fine. 4 going down. Does that tell us anything? I guess it does tell us, yeah, the 4 is in one of these two. So we can't have 4 here. It's got to be in the top 2 rows. That's still very unrestrained. Though with this 3 clue at the bottom here, one thing we can say for this is that we cannot have 1, 2, 3, 4 within these 3 cells. So this 4 pointing down is going to mean we have 4 on the left here, which means we have 4 on the right in the middle cell. I guess I should also write that the 2 is restrained to these cells because we have the 2 pair and the 2 pointing down. We've said that any of these cells can be the 4. That's fine. Is there anything we can say about 7, 8, 9? Not really. We just know that 7 and 8 can't be in the top right, and that 9 can't be in the middle. And nothing much really for the middle left. 5 is restricted to 2 positions down here, just by sudoku. No, why did I think 5 was restricted to 2? It's still 3. Yeah, I guess 5's restricted a bit here, but that's still not giving us much. Yeah, okay, I did realize something just now about the overall structure of the puzzle, which I should have spotted much earlier. So this group is 22 or higher. This group is 22 or higher. But then these in total, they can be at most 44 because that's how sudoku works. So we actually can deduce that this is a 1 in the center. And both of these two groups add up to 22. That's something I just completely did not consider. Whoops. So 1 in this region on the right can only be on the bottom. We can't do a deduction like, oh, the 1 can be here, so this group busts, but no. It's still minimal enough. We don't have a similar interaction like that anywhere else, sadly. Because there's only 2 4s. So this group on the left has to be 5, 8, and then either 6, 3, or 7, 2. That means the group on the right has well, it's got to have, it's 9, 4, and then one of those two pairs that adds up to 9 as well. So either the 2, 7 or the 3, 6. But deducing that the 4 has got to be there, that's still a good start, I guess. Right. And this 1 in the center, we restricted this cell at the top to a 1 or a 6. So that's got to be a 6 now. Which means we also definitely cannot place a 4 in that group, because this thing here, it's got to be 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 to stay 21 or less. So on the other side, we've got a 4 over here. That disambiguates the pair. And yeah, just cleaning up pencil marks a bit here. I also wrote down 22 next to those 4s, just to make sure we know that those 4s are restricted to 22 each. We've still got the 2, 3 pair here, the 4, 9 pair across borders, the 6, 9 pair. Anything we can do with those? I guess we can at least mark the 6 as being one of those two numbers. We still have no info about the 5, the 4, the 3, the 1. 1 and 3 are being pushed up to the top two rows by the 1 and the 3 on the left. Right. The 1, 2, 3, those are all pushed to the top in the center. I should have seen this a bit earlier here, but none of those numbers match. Yeah, none of these numbers match any of these numbers. So this is a 1, 2, 3 triple, which means the leftover numbers here are, what are they? These are 5, 8, 9. And that means these two are a 4, 6 pair. And we've also got a 1, 3, and 5 triple here. The BGM I've got going on right now in the background is kind of funny because I just randomly had to click on something, and I clicked on lo-fi anime themes, but some themes are just not meant to be lo-fi'd. Right now, I've got, what's it called? A Cruel Angel's Thesis, but it's a lo-fi version, so it just sounds a little weird, but it's fun. Right, I don't think this pencil mark here can be 9 because we have 11 already, and if we add a 9, that's just going to be weird. Right. So actually, this 1 that we added in the center is going to be important here because we've got the 5 at the top. That means these 4 sum up to exactly 21 because adding the 1, that's going to make it go to exactly 22. So let's adjust this a bit. We had pencil mark 9 here as one of the 3 options, but that can't be it anymore, obviously. If this is a 9, we need a 2. If that's an 8, we need a 3. That's impossible because there's a 3 at the bottom. And then if it's a 5, we need a 6. That's impossible because there's a 6 at the top. So this is gotta be a 2 and then a 9 over here. That's very cool. So let's get rid of that 5. 5, 8 pair, nothing much we can do with that still. But we might be able to do something with the center column now that we have most of it filled out. We still need 5, 7, and 8 in this middle here. 9 is now no longer in the center column, so we only have one place for that in the middle here. 5, 7, 8. So it's something like this. But Now I'm going to say we can't have a 5 in this position, because that means we have 7 and 8 here. And then how do we resolve this 3? We need at least either a 7 or an 8, because then, if not, then the most we get here is 5, 6, 9, and that's 20. So we can't have both a 7 and an 8 in this box in the middle. That means the 5 is definitely going to be down here. And then 7 or 8. Right. And with the 5 down here, and we definitely have a 7 or an 8. So that means this group of 3, that's got to be 9, it's got to be 6, and it's got to be 7 or 8. And actually, yeah, we both have 9 and 6 out of the center. So we have a 9-6 pair and a 7-8 pair. This 9-6 pair and that 6 over here is telling us the 6 is on the left in the center. And we also have the information that the left side here at the bottom, that's got to be a 1, 2, 4 triple. So we got that marked down. 1, 2, 4. That's important because we still need these two cells to be 14 or less. If this is a 6 and this is an 8, I guess that's still fine because it's exactly 14. If this cell is a 6, well, yeah, we still have options. But I think we can cross off this 3 now that we've definitely got the pairs going on here. What else is important for us to keep in mind? Let's at the very least get rid of this 2, now that we have a 2 in the center. But yeah, and of course, the 2 resolves the 2-3 pair. Now we can also erase the 2 from this cell. And we actually, this does actually give us a 3, 4, 6 triple. So these 2 cells that are remaining, those have got to be where the 1, 2 go. 3 can also be erased from here by sudoku. I forgot to erase 6 from here, which was a given, which is a whoops. Yeah, where does that leave us? It feels like we filled out a lot, but we still have so much left to go. The 5 here. It's pointing down at 2, a 1, 3, 5, a 6, 4. It doesn't feel like it's that high yet. So we might need some high numbers in those 2 cells to get it approaching 22. Well, I'm not quite sure about that yet. Actually, the 6 in the bottom row here, we have a 6 and a 5 now, which is going to restrict stuff a lot more. We said this cell was either going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is going to be, well, no, 9 is impossible. 8 is impossible now because these 3 cells have to be 10 or less, and that's impossible with 8. So this can only be, I guess, 4 or 7. 7's still fine if we have a 1, 2 pair. But yeah, we cannot have 6 either way by sudoku. And because we said earlier, right, that this 4 region, it's gotta be, it has to have a 4 in it because of other stuff. It's gotta have the 3, and then the other 2 numbers have to be 2 out of 7, 8, 9. And while we have restricted this cell to a 7 at most, these other ones are still unrestricted. Oh yeah, here's the thing I should have gotten a lot earlier. Since we have the 2 on the left side now, it's got to be on the right side at the top here. So let's, yeah, let's get that out of the way. So that's a 2. This is a 1, 3 pair now. Yeah, we could have just done this with pure sudoku. Our 2 pair in our 2 pair in the bottom. We've got our 2 pair in the middle right in these 2 cells here, and then we don't have any 2s in the bottom cages, so it can be anywhere in this left column and this left column in this bottom right 2x2. That is still very unrestrained. What we do have is, oh yeah, and speaking of things I should have gotten earlier, we said we could either minimize the 3, or we could go from the 3 to a 2, or we could go from the 7 to a 6. But we've done one of these things, so we cannot do the other. So this has to be a 7-8 pair, and we know where the 8 goes, and we know where the 7 goes. So this has got to be the 8. This has got to be the 7. And we now know that the other cells are a 3, 4, 6 triple. The 7 is going to give us, I guess, a 7 locked into the left column here. Yeah, this 7 is going to give us a 7 locked into the left column here. So we have 1, 2, 7 as a triple. That means we can just go ahead and remove 7 here. This is now a 4, 8, 9 triple, and we can just resolve this because we know that we can't place 8 or 9 in this cell. So this has got to be 4. 8 is blocked here, this has got to be 9, this has got to be 8. And this has got to be 9 now up top here, which gives us a 4 in this column. And now we get a 6 and a 9 up top here. Let's quickly clean up our pencil marks a bit. And our remaining pair here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. So this is another 6, 8 pair that we have to resolve still. I guess the one thing we can still say about stuff over here on the left is that this cannot be a 7, because then that busts, because it will be a 7, yeah, 7, 4, 5, 6, that by itself is 22. And we cannot have a 4 here because of sudoku, so this actually turns into a 1, 2 pair. That means the first 5 cells of this 6 clue are going to be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 18. I guess, yeah, it's just going to naturally work out if this is pencil marked to 7 or 8, so we don't need to care about this 6 clue anymore. And this stuff on the right now, well, we do know we can't place a 4 here anymore. This is now, I guess it is a 6, 7, 8, no, I guess it is a 3, 7, 8 triple. 7 and 8 are actually blocked off here though, so we do have a 3, and then a 7, 8 pencil mark. The 3 is going to go back up here and get rid of itself there. But I don't think we have anything else for the 3, 4, 6 triple just yet. Well, I do stay bad at scanning, by the way. We did say that this 1 had to go on the top here, so this has got to be a 3. This has got to be a 1. Because the 1's in one of these 3 cells. It does give us the 3 over here as well. And this is now a 1, 5 pair. And we do have the 8, which resolves the 5, 8 pair in that cage as well. So this has got to be a 5, this has got to be an 8. And the 8 now also does resolve this 7, 8 pair. It's got to be 7, that's got to be an 8. And this has got to be a 7 down here now as well. Now we can probably deduce the rest of the columns in the middle. This has got to be a 6. Now that's the only other number that can be here. This 6 clue is satisfied. Oops, I accidentally wrote a few numbers onto the pencil mark layer again. Let me just fix that real quick. And now over here we do have 6, 9 as a pair here. That means our remaining numbers are 3, 4, and 5. 4 is blocked at the bottom. 5 is blocked in the middle. 3 is actually blocked at the top, so it's like 2 possibilities here. And now we got to look at the right. I don't think there's anything else we can deduce in the left column still. I guess the 4 clues are satisfied now, so we can cross those out. The only blackjack clues we still need to pay attention to, I think, are the 5 pointing down and the 4 pointing to the right. This 4 sees a 1, 2. That's already kind of restrictive, but the 6 or 9 at the end here. Well, why haven't I resolved that? There's a 9 on the left, so this is just straight up a 9. That's just a... Actually, yeah, with the 9 here, this 4 clue becomes a lot less restrained. We also do have the 8 from the 7 clue, from the 7 over here. Now these 8s, I guess that's going to give us an 8 pair in these 2 spots. We also have a 3 pair in the left column. I don't really think we have any other pairs, so to speak. Oh, but we do have a pair. We have a 4, 6 pair forced from this 7 clue here. The 4, 6, they've got to go in those 2 spots, so we can't have a 4 or a 6 anywhere else in that cage. Meaning this is totally the 3. This has got to be the 4. This has got to be a 6. This has got to be a 4. And that resolves the center here as well. So this has got to be the 5. This has got to be the 3. And the 4 and the 3 feed back into other places. Not quite yet. Not the 6 either. That's a bit of an inconvenient place. Top row, that is missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This can still be 6 or 7. This can still be 6. No, what am I saying? There's a 6 in the center here. This has got to be 6. The 8 has to be here. 7 has to be here. That gives us a 7 in one of these 2 spots. 1 is unrestrained, 2 is unrestrained. That can still go a lot of places. 6 as well. So maybe this is where we do look at the 4. Our remaining numbers are 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. 2, 6, 7. That's going to be 15. The next closest thing down, I guess, is 2, 4, 7. That's going to be 13. That's still fine, I guess. Well, one thing we do have is the 6 clues on the left. Those are telling us that well, I guess the one thing we do have is those 6 clues on the left. Those are telling us that the 6 is in one of these 2 spots. So it's got to be here or here. Right, but now if the 7 is knocked out of that group, then the highest it can be is 2, 4, 6, which is 12. Adding the 9 to that makes it 21, which does not bust. So I think the argument that we do have here is that the 7 and the 6, they both have to be in here. Now 7 and 6, that makes 13. So it's fine if the cell in the middle is a 1 or a 2. Both of those are still a-okay. The 7 does get pushed up here on the left. That does give us a 1-2 pair, which means this cell here is a 4. Yeah, now we do have a 1, 2, 4 as the number is missing here. We've got a 2 pointing down to the left cell, but nothing else is restricted. Let's clear these up. Oh yeah, I should have written the 8 down here as well. Oh yeah, I should have gotten the 8 here as well. Whoops. Whoops, I really put those dots down on the solution layer. Rip. So the remaining numbers here are 1, 2, and 5. 1, 2, and 5, right? 5 can be either of these. The 1, 2, that's still unrestrained. So I think we do look at the 5 going down now. It sees a 2 and an 8. That's 10. If this is a 1, this is a 4 or a 6, right? So a 1 and a 6, that's going to make these first 4 cells add up to 17. That with a 3 does not bust, that's 20. So this has got to be a 5 and a 1 to resolve properly. 5, 8, that's 13, 2, that's 15. 4 makes it 19, 6 makes it 21. Both of those definitely work with the clue still. So let's get the other bits here. 5 means we gotta write the 5 over here. Oh yeah, there's a 6 clue at the bottom now. That does resolve the 4, 6 actually. And the 4s give us a 4 over here. That's a 2. That's a 1. That should resolve the 1, 2s over here. And finally, we do have a 2, and we have a 1. And that should be the entire Sudoku done. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I've definitely put a lot more effort into getting my setup here correct, but I'm still getting used to it and stuff. And hopefully this video recording will be trimmed down quite a bit. The recording itself has taken like an hour, but hopefully the video should be a little bit shorter because I'm gonna try to cut out the parts where I don't really say anything. Because I've noticed my videos have just been getting bloated and bloated. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you didn't scream at your monitor too much for my inability to scan. And see you around next time. Bye bye.